Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right. You were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
How's it going?
It's going okay. How are you?
Oh, it's going.
Am I on? I'm on, yeah.
What's that?
It's funny though, because I check my mic as soon as I connect, but I'm always convinced it's off. It's not really plugged in.
There we go. That's a little better. All right. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. This is live. If you're listening to this, probably not now. We don't get a lot of live people. They usually listen later. I don't know if anyone listening to this notices that there's 2 of the same podcast. There's a live one and there's a regular one. And the difference being is we do extra stuff on this podcast. Probably, I don't know, 20 some odd minutes, 20.
Yeah, roundabout 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. And that's not in the regular podcast. The other thing is when I'm going, I cut that out. So most of that is not in the regular podcast.
Yeah, he leaves mine in though, so don't worry. Yeah. You'll still get lots of that.
Yeah. So I look smarter. Although I did notice one of my cuts, I was doing it and I cut it. I was like this, and then it cut directly. It was here and it was there. So whatever.
Continuity.
And I also noticed when I was editing, I can't remember what movie it was we were doing. You had your hand up. And I was ignoring you, and it's because I didn't see you. Right now I do it on the one computer, and I can't split the screens. It's too small for me to read the plot and all that stuff. So I have to go back and forth. And so I noticed that, totally unrelated, but I think I have another computer coming, and I have the program where the one mouse does both screens and all that crap. So that, but if you're feel free to say,
no. If I put my hand up, that's because I literally have a thought and I'm like, oh, thought. And then if you're still talking, I won't necessarily say the thought if I agree with what you're saying or if we're saying the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be like, thought. And then I'm like, oh, he's just saying what I was about to say. So I'm not going to say it. We don't both have to say it. It's fine. But normally I just talk over you. So it's okay.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna review a couple newer movies that went to streaming. Quick reviews, but before we do that, let's see if I could do this.
I believe in you.
Dun, 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 dun. Share. You can see that?
I can see that.
There you go. From Dogma to Cannonball Run, more hard to find movies. We have Dogma. Shoot to Kill, which I remember watching this as a kid, and it was such a good movie with Sidney Poitier and Tom Berenger.
Shoot to Kill.
Yeah, Kirstie Alley was in it too.
Oh, okay. I remember it.
I remember it being very, very good. And Sidney Poitier is usually not an action dude.
I mean, if Sidney Poitier is doing it, then chances are it's amazing.
Yeah. The Devils. I don't know what this one is.
I've never seen it.
And the Cannonball Run.
I don't think I've seen Cannonball Run.
What?
I don't think I've seen it.
You've never seen the Cannonball
Is this my
Run?
homework? Do I have to find it somewhere online?
We should, you can't. That's the point.
Well, I have Dogma on DVD, I think.
Now, Dogma is very hard to come by.
Ooh,
now,
exclusive.
Cannonball Run was the 3rd highest grossing movie of 1981.
Okay.
So you would think it'd
It
be
would
on
be somewhere.
streaming services, and everybody, even if you haven't seen it, everyone's heard of Cannonball Run. It's talk about an ensemble cast. Jesus Christ. But back in the day, whoever was running, I don't know if it was Warner Brothers or Touchstone, sold the rights to an Asian company that seems to have no interest in putting on streaming or to rent it, just to sell it on DVD or Blu-ray. They're not. So whoever did it lost the rights to do that.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't look like it's. So I ordered it. I ordered it, a Blu-ray of Cannonball Run. Cannonball Run 2 is a little different because they still have the rights for that. Dogma, I don't know. Shoot to Kill. It's another one of those things where it's just someone lost the rights, and it could be one of those things where to pay for that might not be worth it.
Yeah.
How many people are going to run to rent or buy Shoot to Kill? Dogma is because it was done by Disney and Miramax at the time with the Weinstein brothers. Disney didn't really want to release a movie under its banner because it was already getting bad press because of the all the Catholic stuff. And
which is amazing.
Yeah, and so they kept the rights and released it under Miramax, and now they own the rights to it. Kevin Smith had made 2 offers to buy it.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Harvey Weinstein will not sell it. And I don't know how many movies he has or is able to block, or Kevin Smith pissed him off, and he's just like, no, fuck you, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, but
You have to
Harvey
wait till I
Weinstein is
die.
just a dick in general. Like, he is a terrible, terrible person. It
Yeah.
doesn't surprise
Oh,
me.
yeah. Yeah. That, no doubt. One of the best lines, is it here? No. Basically, Kevin Smith was quoted as saying that I made a movie about angels, and now the devil has the rights to my movie.
Valid. Very, very
But,
true.
oh, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully he dies soon.
God, we can only hope. We can only hope. But I mean, evil
Not
likes
just
to
for
live
this, for all
forever.
the other stuff, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a terrible, terrible, terrible person. He's literally living trash. So here's hoping he goes. I'm pretty sure I have Dogma on DVD.
I used to. I don't have it
I
anymore.
think
I
I
used to
still
have
have
it.
it. I'm gonna need to look through my DVDs. I'm trying to figure out a display method for it. Um,
For
but
that,
yeah,
or like all your movies?
for all my DVDs, not
Mhm.
just Dogma. Although every time I see a Buddy Jesus on Amazon, I'm like, I need that.
Yeah. Or, what is it? Movies?
Oh yes, movies.
Movies isn't all his movies.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
a common thread. But
Yeah.
like, as someone who grew up in the Catholic Church and received at least 3 sacraments, went to catechism, went to Catholic school, that movie was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get that out of here.
I believe in you.
Stop sharing. There we go. Yeah, so it's weird. There's a whole bunch of other movies. Like, we were talking about Cocoon,
Yeah.
and no one can really figure out. I'm sure there's people that know why, but no one on this side of the movie
Well,
industry.
there are so many movies. Some of them absolutely incredible. Some of them were feats in filmmaking, but they haven't been given big distribution because or any distribution, because they can't guarantee a profit off of it.
No.
And that's the
No.
problem. They're like, "We can't guarantee that people are gonna be interested in this movie." And I'm like, "Just fucking put it on your streaming service." Because I hate to break it, but now that there are renegotiations with unions and things like that, then they have to figure out
Oh, it'd be even
who's
worse
still
now.
getting royalties and, like, all that kinda stuff because, I mean, fair enough. I think it's
Well, they're
I
talking
mean
about stuff is gonna be dropped, prices will be going up. Thanks a lot,
yeah.
actors. Way to
Honestly,
go. You
I know you're being a dick for dick's sake, but, I'm fully because once you start seeing what they're getting paid, you're like, so you're not getting paid for streaming services? Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
not
I saw that Orange is the New Black. One of the actors on there, she put up her actually pay stub from when it was. She wasn't the star, but she was a
yeah.
reoccurring character, and you were like, "What?"
Yeah, no, they
Jesus
hardly
Christ.
unless they've negotiated that into their contract,
Yeah,
syndication was only a moneymaker if you were, like, one of the leads or you specifically negotiated that in. Like, it made you some money, but not like, "Imma live forever" money. But
no.
Friends, God bless, they made the deal, so now they get paid $20 million a year.
Well, Friends was cool because the producers, I don't know why, but it was really cool. Like, even the character who only appeared on one episode
Yeah.
still gets money. Like, what's his name? Drunk Bobby. Like, he still said he still
Oh.
gets like a few grand a year
Yeah,
from, yeah,
but that's because 'cause
because,
they're very widely syndicated. They're still airing on
oh,
cable
yeah,
television as well as streaming. So that's the money from cable television. They're not getting like, it streams here in Canada on Crave. They're not getting the Crave money.
no, probably not.
No,
No,
no, not at all.
no,
So
because,
they're screwed like, the smaller actors, they only get paid for syndication, and as cable kind of stops syndicating shows, that we're gonna get less those actors are gonna get less and less, but I mean, if he's like, "Hey, I can get a vacation out of my residual money
yeah,
from Friends," more power to him.
and yeah, Netflix paid 500 million plus
Yeah,
for Seinfeld. And that's pretty much just Seinfeld and Larry David.
mhm.
Yeah.
There's big money in streaming,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
don't
I
think
mean,
they'll
it's one of the number 1 shows ever, like, but still, like, I'm sure other, yeah, yeah,
I've already rewatched so many series that I haven't seen forever because they're on a streaming service.
yeah.
Like, when I got Disney Plus and, like, MASH popped up, I was like, "Well, shit, let me rewatch it for, like, the 5th time because I love that series." And I'm like, "It would be nice. It would be nice if" is Alan Alda even still alive?
I think he is, and
I
I
think
think
he
he's
is.
still acting.
But he is a force, let me tell you. God bless.
Alright. Yeah, that was just weird that, some of the and, yeah, it's gonna start happening more, and it's not just that who holds the right, it's, Drew Carey. I was looking to get the Drew Carey show on DVD, and I could get season 1, but I couldn't get any of the other seasons, and I'm like, "What the I couldn't digital, I couldn't get DVDs, nothing." And I did some searching, and it was all music rights. Because Drew Carey loved music and he put so much different music into different episodes,
Yeah,
they didn't negotiate
yeah,
DVD sales, streaming rights for the music, and for them to renegotiate it, it just might not be cost effective.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
you
it's
gotta
too
get that
bad.
stuff in, like, season 1, episode 1 before you sign the music contracts. You've gotta go long term. Even if you have to pay out, do a buyout,
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
you've gotta put out the money first. No worries. It's fine.
Technical difficulties. That's better. There we go.
Good job.
I kept doing this and it kept going.
It's the syncing microphone.
Do 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 do. All right. So let's do our little movie thing. So we are going to review before we get to Van Helsing. We are going to do a couple reviews of streaming movies. We're going to try doing this for pretty much streaming movies or movies that just went to video,
Yeah.
ones that you never heard of, maybe that deserve to be
Movies you
looked
can watch
at.
from home.
Yeah,
That's all it is. Movies you can watch from home. So after you watch a movie that you remember loving and then you're exceptionally disappointed about that, we're going to review something and let you know if you're going to be disappointed by that too.
yeah. Now, did you watch Lift?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so for this one, I'm going to do the review on this one, and then Anna is going to give a second opinion on this. Where is my Lift? Okay. Lift, directed by F. Gary Gray. known for directing Friday, The Negotiator, A Man Apart, Italian Job, Be Cool, Law Abiding Citizen, Straight Outta Compton, Fate of the Furious. I think that was number 6. I don't know. He's a great director.
Mm-hmm.
And it stars Kevin Hart, Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Mbatha.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, pretty close actually.
She's
It's
so
Mbatha.
pretty.
I literally listened to a video to get it right.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure I still got it wrong. So I mean, but it's Mbatha.
And she's pretty.
So pretty.
And she can act. Bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Also stars Vincent D'Onofrio, Jean Reno, Sam Worthington. Oh, fuck, here we go. Ursula Corbero, Young Ji Kim.
Yeah.
I liked it better when actors took stage names to make it easier on everyone. Great cast.
Yes.
And this one, how can I put it nicely? Serviceable?
Yeah.
It's a familiar story, as in every heist movie ever, which is fine with me. That's why I like them. The subplots and characters are the huge problem here. First, you have a 4'10" man as your action star. He didn't know karate. He didn't know ninja. Nothing. It was weird seeing Kevin Hart in this role.
Yeah.
It was. The first heist was great. Very international, action, technological, all things you want to see in your heist movie. They get caught, as they sometimes do, and in this case have to work with Interpol to wipe the slate clean. Only problem is how they got caught. It was so stupid, and it didn't even seem to bother anyone.
Yeah.
Like it was, and he's trying to convince like the team who are like, how can we do this? We don't want to do this. And he's like, well, we have to do it or we'll go to jail. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, the whole thing was like, you got me. I'd be a little more upset. Now, I will say this, the setting up the heist, figuring out how to do this heist was great. They have to rob this 500 million in gold. This is all in the trailer. I'm not giving anything away here.
Yeah.
And they have to figure out how to do it on a plane. This part is great. Not Kevin Hart's input and how he goes about doing it. I thought that was so. I don't know. I think I was just waiting for him to be funny, do something silly. I mean, the last 20 Kevin Hart movies I watched, he did something funny or silly, and he did not do it here. I wasn't buying the whole Kevin Hart as Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible thing.
Yeah, no.
Now, the action, especially in the air, top notch. Excellent. The bad guys, from Reno to his henchmen on the plane, excellent. The fight scenes in the air, the peril, the last minute hiccups leading to the are they going to make it in time was all good. But there was a lot of parts where there's that one part where Sam Worthington's character, the head of the Interpol, meets with Cyrus, Kevin Hart, and Abby. And for no reason, Worthington's character gets all douchey, calling Cyrus homeboy and telling Abby to get her boy in line. Yeah. Like, this was your fucking idea, dude. You think you'd be a little more supportive.
I think they were trying to establish that he was a dick, but I'm like, but it just seemed so out of place. Like,
very out of place. Yeah.
Where did the racism come from?
Yeah. And after that, Hart's character is like, I don't know if we can pull it off, but just so you know, if we can do it, we're doing it for you, not him. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're doing it so you don't go to prison, you stupid bitch. And this rom-com vibe was peppered all throughout this movie, and it really, really took you out. The ending was good. The second ending, or the sleight of hand that all these movies had, was great until the very ending, where they all meet up, and it was like a TGIF, like Full House started dry humping Family Matters. It was so bad. Kevin Hart shouldn't have been the lead. He should have been part of the crew. Like the angle shots of him and the love interest looking the same height, and then there's shots where she looks like a foot taller than him. It kind of took me out. And I'm like, did someone forget the milk carton for this dude? I don't know. Again, serviceable. I say stream it, then delete it, because you're not watching this again. But it's an okay one-time watch. If you don't want to really pay attention, and there's not like you have 18 other streaming services to find something to watch, but it's an okay one watch and delete it from your thing.
I
second
concur.
opinion. Okay.
No, here's the thing. I think this movie could have been very good.
Yeah.
I think they lost the plot somewhere. Kevin Hart, like, no offense to him, he didn't do badly in this movie,
No.
but he didn't do well either. Like, he was just he was alright. The supposed sexual tension, romantic interest between him and the agent, there was none of that.
No.
I felt nothing. Every time they got close and they were having, like, a flirty conversation, I was like, this feels weird. 'Cause there is no interest. I think they totally underused Vincent D'Onofrio. I'm like, y'all coulda given him so much more because he's wonderful, but he was just, like,
Yeah.
almost like a filler, and I was like, "That's Vincent D'Onofrio." I'm like, "What? Why would you?" Um, I think it was trying to decide whether or not it wanted to be a full action thriller or a comedy or a rom-com, and it confused itself.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a bad movie, but it wasn't great either. It was okay. It
Yeah.
was an okay movie. If you're looking for something to put on while you fall asleep, that it doesn't matter if you miss the ending, this is the kind of movie. Because you know they're
Yeah.
gonna get the heist. Sure, if you stay awake until the end, you're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, cool. That's how they end the movie." But you're not invested in any of the characters except for one, Billy Magnuson, who plays Magnus. He was
Yeah.
my
He's
favorite
cool.
character.
He's funny. And
He
he's
was
funny.
my only favorite character. And Kevin Hart, they tried to make his character this super cool and suave, like, "I've got the master plan.
Yeah.
I'm the mastermind behind this." He was not selling that.
No.
I don't know what he was trying to deliver, but he did not deliver that. And it just ended up very kinda odd. Like, I watched it and I was like, "Okay." It wasn't terrible. I'm not mad I watched it. So, I mean, like, put it on your list. I wouldn't rush to stream it.
Good.
Eh, it was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Our next movie is Roleplay.
Roleplay.
That's yours. I'll give the second opinion.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So, Roleplay, directed by Thomas Vincent, who is a French director, and I appreciate him so much. He's done episodes of The Bodyguard, Reacher, Borgia, The Tunnel. This movie is an Amazon original, which I actually also appreciate, but it's also done with, Canal Plus, which is a French channel, so a lot of the crew was French, which I fully appreciated. They also filmed a lot of it in Europe. Um, it is starring Kaylee Cuoco and David, I'm going to do this, Oyelowo? God, I listened to a video and everything of him saying his
Mhm.
own name. I think it's Oyelowo. Anyways, he's wonderful. He is a British Nigerian actor. Also, if you can watch a video of him on a talk show talking about his dad and a leaf blower, please do it. It is one of the greatest clips you will ever see in your life. Anyways, premise of this movie: the wife, this woman Emma, is an assassin for hire. We meet her as she's doing a kill, and then she gets on a plane and she gets home to her husband and her kids who have no idea that this is her life. Her cover gets blown. She ends up becoming known. Uh, Unknowingly, she implicates her husband in one of her kills, and then hijinks ensue. And we'll leave it at that because there was the twist. I was watching this movie. It was surprisingly funny. It was very witty, very well written. Love the way it was directed. The casting was incredible. Connie Nielsen is in it, and I'm sure everybody has seen her multiple times. She's a wonderful Danish actress who's been in everything. Um, and Bill Nighy's in it, and I love him. But it surprised me how funny and how witty this movie was. And then there was one point where it kind of went super dark, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't think it was gonna be this kind of movie," but then it lightened up again. I really enjoyed it. It was a very fun watch. I actually say, you know what? Stream it now if you can, because it was a well worth it. Well worth it. And Kaylee Cuoco, not the greatest actress in her teens, but my god, has she gotten so much better She was really good in this.
Oh, that Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, well, Big Bang Theory, she kind of played the same. It was like there was no growth. This is very different from Big Bang. So if you think you're going to see Penny in this, you're not. You're just going to see like parents, and one of them happens to be a trained assassin. What did you think?
All
Did you
right,
watch it?
second opinion. I did watch it. Again, serviceable. It played it straight for the most part with a dash of humor here and there. More so from David. I ain't even gonna attempt to say his last name, but I watched him in Silo. He was awesome, and he's got a
Mhm.
new show called Lawmen that
I
looks
can't
really
wait to
good.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. Although Kelly, how do you? I say Coco,
I
Cuckoo,
say Cuoco.
Cuoco, had her moments. It was a little more on the realistic side. Like if you're like Kaylee is an assassin and you're thinking the female John Wick, you will be sorely disappointed. I
Mm,
thought the cast was good. It was well paced. It wasn't overly exciting, but it wasn't boring either. I love Bill Nye's little part.
yeah.
Uh, liked Connie Nelson. Yeah, my score is stream it. When you just want a standard action, some good acting. It's not action packed. It's not overly thrilling, but I thought it was okay. Yeah, stream it when you get the time to do it.
One thing I realized while I was watching this movie was I became really invested. I
Yeah,
became really, really invested in what was happening in the movie, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't really care during Lyft." I'm sorry, Lyft. But, like, during role play, I was like, "Oh, is that what?" And there were times when I would, like, rewind and be like, "Did I hear that right? Oh, okay." So, I was actually surprised at how enjoyable it was.
yeah. No, it was a nice little movie.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
great, like, Friday night order takeout, like, hunker down for an hour and a half of entertainment.
yeah. I did like this more than Lyft.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I feel bad though, because I feel like I should have liked Lyft, but I was like,
It
I
had
thought it was
everything
gonna be
there.
funnier.
It had the money. It had the director. Had all the
Oh, it had
actors.
the money.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be funny too. Yeah, it was not. It was not.
No, even their
No.
jokes fell flat. Like, in this one, I actually had a few surprise laughs where I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, no. There was
we're
some
that
good.
kind of
There was
movie?"
some. Yeah, no. I didn't mind this one. Neither one are doing great.
Mm,
Review wise. Um,
I
right
mean,
now,
makes sense.
Lyft is at 31% with 54 reviews and has 33% with audience.
Mhm.
Roleplay has gone up, but it's at 22% with 32 reviews, and audience scores is a little higher than Lyft with 48. So
I mean, don't get me wrong, neither of these are Oscar worthy
no, the
or
yeah,
even
those,
Golden Globe or Emmy. Like, they're
but
good though.
yeah, they're all right. They're yeah, Lyft,
Roleplay's better.
yeah, Roleplay was the better movie. Actually,
If
I
you
was
have to
surprised.
choose
Yeah,
Roleplay.
yeah. If you can only watch one, I would choose Roleplay too. All right. We are now moving on to Van Helsing. So we have our preview,
Mhm.
and then when we get back, we are going to review it after the preview. Right. The next is Van Helsing.
Yes.
I haven't seen this for a while. I have seen this a few
Same.
times though.
Oh, I watched it a few times
Mhm.
and then literally haven't watched it in like 10 years.
All right. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Today, we are going to preview, is it 2004 or 2005?
2004.
Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman, and
Kate
very,
Beckinsale.
yes, I was going to say a very hot actress. Yes, Kate Beckinsale.
I'm here for you, Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale. What do you remember about Van Helsing?
I remember loving it. I was very into it, into the action. I loved the actors who were in it. I remember it being campy, 100% campy. But I like that about it because it's also a movie about like vampires and werewolves and a hunter of those things. So, I mean, you can't really expect super realistic
No,
plot like
no,
points. So, I liked it though. It was a lot of fun and very actiony and funny.
no. I remember it's 2004. CGI was all the rage. Like, we've already watched Ghost Ship. We talked about all those movies in the 1999 forward where CGI was just the thing to do. I
Mhm.
know this movie back then got a lot of shit because it wasn't a horror movie. If you saw the preview, I remember thinking this back then. If you saw the preview, you could tell it's an action movie.
Yeah.
It's not a horror movie, and it's a comic book. So I remember that. And Kate Beckinsale in corsets and leather. I mean, sign me up.
100%.
Yeah, that's
100%.
yeah.
She is still to this day one of the hottest women ever. And she's fucking hilarious.
And that's 20 years ago. And you've seen her in her yeah, she doesn't look like she's
She looks the
aged.
fucking same. She's a vampire. 100% she's a vampire. She looks fucking insane, and I love every time she does a guest, like a chat show, a guest star, whenever she's a guest on one, I watch every single one because I'm like, she is fucking hilarious. So she's super hot and then super funny too, bitch.
Yeah.
If I was
What?
into women, I totally tap that.
Yeah, me too. Box off box office. Don't tell my
Sorry.
wife. Box office. Here we go. Van
Yeah.
Helsing came out on May 6, 2004. Why do these movies not come around October? It had a budget. This is mind blowing for 2004, 160 million. But we did discuss this with, I think, Ghost Ship. CGI was all the rage, and it was this new thing
Yeah.
that just gotten better because I think the new Star Wars came out in 1999, but it's still very expensive. I mean,
It
I'm
was
sure it's very expensive
ridiculously.
now, but I think it was ridiculous back then.
Yeah, compared to the prices now, like, now almost seems like super budget for it, It's almost like the price difference is crazy, and also a lot of the people actually have, like, CGI artists can actually do the work from home now. That
Yeah,
wasn't an option back then because you couldn't have a powerful enough computer at home.
no. So $160 million. It opened in 3,575 theaters at number one with a weekend total of 51.7 million. Its domestic total was 120 with an international total of almost 180 million and a gross just over 300 million. Probably not what they
Impressive.
wanted um at 160 million, plus I'm sure the marketing was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
But I did, when I was doing this, I did look, and it had on its first week of sales on DVD, it sold over 100, almost 130,000
Wow.
DVDs. Yeah. And then almost like 9-10 months later, it was still in the top 10 charts, and it was still selling like 9-10,000 DVDs. So between
That's where they make their money.
rentals and selling DVDs, I'm sure it worked out well. Not enough for a sequel. It did get a animation sequel, an anime sequel,
Mm,
but not an actual Hugh Jackman sequel.
yeah, that's sad.
So let's go to the tail of the tape for Van Helsing. 2004. It is a fantasy adventure. It comes in rating PG-13 and is a little hefty at 2 hours and 12 minutes. Well, 2004, everything has to be about 2 hours and 3 hours nowadays.
Yeah.
But back then, 2 hours and 12 minutes was considered a little
Yeah,
hefty.
no, you were bitching about that because that would be a really long movie back then.
Yeah.
Now people are like, "The movie was 3.5 hours long," and you're like, "Jesus."
Yeah. And they wonder why people want to sit on their couch at home.
Yeah, because you don't have to, like, bother people to go to the bathroom. You don't
Yeah.
have to pause the movie to go to the bathroom, but anyways.
Taglines. A Stephen Sommers film.
That's not a tagline.
That's what they had. And I mean, I like Stephen Sommers. I like The Mummy.
Yeah.
I liked Deep Rise. And he also did the Resident Evil movies, right? With his wife
I
there.
believe he did.
Yeah. Like he's not making art,
Yeah,
but he's making fun popcorn movies.
and we love him for it.
Yeah.
We love him for it.
One Name They All Fear.
Ooh,
I like that one.
that one's a good one. That one's
Yeah.
a good one.
Adventure Lives Forever.
Good. Adventure probably isn't the right word. I see where they're going with this. I
Yeah.
think with a thesaurus, this could have been better.
Yeah.
But I like the concept behind it.
That was it.
That's all you need.
Synopsis. Famed monster slayer Gabriel Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman, is dispatched to Transylvania to assist the last of the Valerius bloodline in defeating Count Dracula, Richard Roxburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, that name I couldn't pronounce, is Kate Beckinsale, reveals that Dracula has formed an unholy alliance with Dr. Frankenstein's monster, Schuler Hensley,
Mm-hmm.
and is hell-bent on exacting a centuries-old curse on her family. Together, Anna and Van Helsing set out to destroy their common enemy, but uncover some unsettling secrets along the way.
I'm into it.
Yeah. And there's the poster. I actually like the poster.
I love the poster.
Yeah.
It feels very classic, kind of not necessarily horror, but almost horror fantasy.
Yeah.
Dark
Yeah,
Castle.
it's not horror, but yeah.
Moon.
Comic book.
Yeah, comic book. It feels very comic book.
And for those listening, it says at the top, Adventure lives forever. There is something flying. I'm guessing it's a vampire. Bats everywhere. The castle in the background. Full moon. It's a very green tone on
Frankenstein's monster.
There's a werewolf there. There's Frankenstein's monster up top. Van Helsing is up front. Kate Beckinsale is beside him with a sword. He's got that dagger thing and a crossbow, and Van Helsing underneath with Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale top billing. The only thing that would make it better if you took Hugh Jackman and moved him right out, brought Kate Beckinsale forward, and build her in the poster. That'd be perfect. I'd hang that on the wall.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
All right. On to Rotten Tomatoes. I can't. Yeah. 224 critic reviews put this movie at 24%. Now I remember there's a lot of reading in this one. 250,000 audience reviews plus I have it at 57%. Now the critics' consensus is a hollow creature feature that suffers from CGI overload.
I mean, that might be valid.
And these are the positives, and you may start.
Fantastic. Hugh Jackman stars as the sexiest Van Helsing to ever hit the screen. Even more impressive is the larger-than-life screen presence and physicality that keeps his character from becoming overshadowed by the incredible amount of CGI and monster effects. Debbie Lynn Elias, Behind the Lens, original score 3 out of 5.
The sexiest Van Helsing ever. It's an event movie. In every sense, the film has all the subtlety of a runaway train hurtling down the Matterhorn. But as entertaining junk, I did find it enjoyable. Ken Hankey, Mountain Express, original score 3.5 out of 5.
That was very honest, Ken.
Yeah.
The best classic monster movie of all time. I've had sex with all the mothers of critics and haters. All the critics. 5 stars.
This is now the audience, Rotten Tomato audience reviews, obviously. Yeah, this was Gene Siskel. I've had sex with all the mothers of critics and haters.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like that one. That was good.
That was good. Am I still going?
No, sorry. 5 stars. Who and the guy who did it?
Yeah, all the critics A.
Yeah, that's his name.
That's his name.
It's a campy monster movie. It succeeds admirably at being just that. It obviously was not intended to garner critical acclaim, but to entertain, and that it does. Dale P, 5 stars.
Thank you, Dale. It is what it is. A pure, corny, dumb, and wildly entertaining hat tip to the classic Universal monster movies of the 20th century. Unknown, 4 stars.
All right, Rotten.
All right.
I will start. This is one of the dopiest movies of the year. Richard Roper, Ebert and Roper.
Straight to the point. This movie is just too silly for words. Moira McDonald, Seattle Times. Original score 1.5 out of 4.
By the final scene, all we care about is when Summers will wrap up his magic act and let us all go home. Jim Lane, Sacramento News and Review. Original score 1 out of 5.
He sounds cranky.
This is audience now.
Now we're into audience.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's bad. It never lets up. The pacing in this is bad for 85% of the runtime, besides a 15-minute reprieve before the final fight. This is nothing but ridiculous fights, dumb scenes, and BS constantly. Red tea, 2 stars.
Yeah. Awful, awful acting. Worse special effects. David C., 1 star.
David C., I'd like to point out that you misspelled awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and just so people know, I don't correct anything. If that's what they put, that's what I put. If you're an idiot, I champion you.
We encourage this.
Yes.
Nothing made sense. Nothing happened. Nothing worked. Nothing was resolved. Nothing was redeeming. And nothing is what's left in my brain after murdering all my brain cells by subjecting them to this, for lack of a better word, film. Unknown, half stars.
Yeah.
Not even a full one. Dang.
All right. IMDb has 281,000 user ratings, coming in at a 6.1 out of 10.
Oh, not bad.
Okay, you may start.
00 Van Helsing, superhero. First, a word of warning. There are a number of people who would be best advised to avoid Van Helsing. If you dislike CGI, if you're a purist, if you're looking for something realistic, or if you're looking for a slower moving, understated film that's a deep character study, you'll more than likely hate this film. 10 out of 10. Brant Sponseller.
So if you're looking for, a good movie,
this
is not for you. The best bad movie you will ever see. 9 out of 10. Schmidt.
C. Schmidt.
43444.
It may have been corny. It may have had overused its CGI, but hell, I loved it anyway. 8 out of 10. R. Datsun. That was beautiful, man.
People expect way too much from this kind of movie. 7 out of 10. B. Gormley. 04413.
Yes, B. Gormley. Over the top, dumb fun, awful and entertaining. 6 out of 10. Hatchetooth.
A guilty pleasure. This is not what I would call a good movie. 5 out of 10. David Miving. We'll take. You could take these.
I'm gonna take all of these. Okay,
Yeah.
so these are my 4 out of 10s.
Yeah, they're all 4 out of 10s.
Van Helsing against the cartoon people. That's from Ariel Ronnie. Hugh Jackman, call your agent. Airborne Ranger. Van Noying.
Nice.
Bob Bear. Van Boring.
Nice
Petrus.
again.
Petrus Saints. Or Streets. Dracula is not the only thing that sucks here. Fluke Skywalker.
Yeah, I couldn't pick one. They were all pretty good.
That's Van Boring was good.
Van Boring.
I like that.
I expected not good, but never that bad. 3 out of 10. Philippe B.
Yeah. That's amazing. I wish I had never seen this movie. 2 out of 10. Whirly 1.
And okay. Yeah. This is a long one. 1 out of 10. The Stephen Sommers Guide to Movie Making. 1. Ensure screenplay consists of little but a series of continual action sequences, none of which advance your story one iota. Number 2. Assume that your audience will be indifferent to character development and coherence, and ensure therefore that your screenplay contains neither. Number 3. Instruct sound people to turn all sound effects up to 11. No. Make that 12. Number 4. Tell effects people to lay on the CGI with a trowel and to make it look as cartoonish as possible. Number 5. Ensure sound effects people and CGI combine to guarantee Dramamine sales rocket. 6. Employ an epileptic woodpecker to edit your movie. Number 7. Refer sound people, CGI people, and editor to The Mummy Returns to give them an idea of what you're looking for. That's a nice job. Number 8. Laugh darkly and malevolently at the filmgoers who forked out hard-earned cash to have their taste and intelligence insulted by you. 1 out of 10. Vincent Elgar.
Malevolently.
What did I say?
Laugh darkly and Malevolent?
Malevolently.
Something else. But I was like, no, it's malevolently.
Malevolently.
That was a lot of like.
Yeah, he put some thought into that one.
Wow, Vincent, you really thought you took notes, didn't you?
Yeah, my favorite was the epileptic woodpecker.
That was fucking funny. Oh my god.
All right. So we took a look at the box office. We took at the tail of the tape, and we looked at all the reviews, good and bad, critics and audience. The only thing left is to watch the trailer and then make our predictions. Let's hope I picked the right movie here.
I believe in you.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
I'm Helsing! You murderer!
Why can't you tell the world I work for you?
Because we do not exist.
My life, my job, my curse is to vanquish evil.
We need you to go to the east, to the far side of Romania, a land that is home to legendary creatures.
I see the Wolfman hasn't killed you yet.
Don't worry, he's getting to it.
Lorded over by Count Dracula.
It is a place where nightmares come to life.
I'm Helsing.
He's the first one to kill a vampire in over 100 years. I'd say that's earned him a drink.
Now, a man without a past
Do you have any family, Mr. Van Helsing?
I hope to find out someday. It's what keeps me going.
will face an enemy that never dies.
In 1462, Dracula was banished to an icy fortress.
And then the devil gave him wings.
And uncover a secret he never imagined.
Castle Dracula.
Hello, Gabriel. We have such history, you and I.
How do you know me?
From the director of The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
Oh my God.
Hugh Jackman. Kate Beckinsale.
How do I kill him?
No one knows how to kill Dracula.
If you're late, run like hell.
Don't be late.
Van Helsing, a film by Stephen Sommers.
What's your prediction?
I think this is going to be one of the cheesiest movies I've ever seen in my life. I just hope the action is fun enough that I'm entertained by it. Because what I saw in that was not promising.
Yeah, I'm not going in looking for a horror movie. I'm not going for art or nothing like that. I can see why it might have cost them a pretty penny back then. The set pieces are huge.
But also, like, half of those sets were CGI.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching that and I was like, CGI set. Wow.
They probably would have saved money by building it.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I'm looking for an action comic book movie.
Yeah.
Cheesy dialogue. As long as the action's there and it's fun and entertaining, and I'm not going, oh my God.
Again?
Yeah. All right. So we are going to go watch Van Helsing. And then when we come back, we are going to review it.
Fun.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
Yay! right, welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone was able to watch Van Helsing during the break. Did you watch Van Helsing?
Yeah, I did.
Your initial thoughts?
This is one of the cheesiest, campiest, over-the-top, melodramatic movies I've ever seen in my life, and I love it.
My initial thought first, this movie tries to pack a lot in this movie. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ, is there ever a lot in it?
For those listening, when director-producer Stephen Sommers, before we said that, because I corrected it for the video for YouTube, but for anyone listening, I said that Stephen Sommers directed Resident Evil. That was Paul W.S. Anderson. That was wrong. Stephen Sommers did not do Resident Evil. But when Stephen Sommers pitched The Mummy to the studio, I remember reading like he was like, this is like Indiana Jones, but with the Mummy. And all those executives heard was Indiana Jones. And they were like, cha-ching. And so this was not, and they did Mummy, and The Mummy Returns did very, very well. So this was not a hard sell. They were hoping on a franchise this time around. Second, I could have watched Kate Beckinsale walk around in a corset for 2 hours. Maybe change it up with different corsets, some leather, flowery, some leggings.
They didn't even have to. 2 hours. She walked around in the same corset.
Yeah, they could have changed it up.
Scene.
Panties, some variety. I probably would have scored this much higher. All right, let's go through Van Helsing. Okay. In 1887, Transylvania, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, aided by his assistant Igor and Count Dracula, creates a monster. Dracula kills Frankenstein when he refuses to go along with the vampire's designs for the creature, as Igor, revealed to be under Dracula's pay, watches impassively. Okay, I went in expecting a comic book. I got a comic book. I like this scene. It looked cheap. Not cheap. Old, like...
It was very classic monster movie vibes. Like there were villagers, there were pitchforks, there were torches, there was a mob mentality. It was all in black and white. And I was like, this feels very much like Frankenstein or Nosferatu. Like, it's very vintage.
Yeah. And I will say this, and I'll probably say this a couple more times. Igor was my favorite character.
Really?
Besides Kate Beckinsale in her corset. I like the Brides of Dracula too. Actually, cast was pretty good. Richard Roxburgh as Dracula.
Yeah.
David Wenham as Carl. But Kevin J. O'Connor as Igor. He was awesome. And he's in every Stephen Sommers, all of his movies. G.I. Joe, Deep Rising. He's the douche that betrays Brendan Fraser in The Mummy.
Oh,
him. Yeah, that's him.
He's awesome.
He is. And he's been in everything. Like, he's been in There Will Be Blood with Danny Day-Lewis, Gods and Monsters with Ian McKellen, Steven Spielberg's Amistad. But yeah, he's really, really good. But when Dr. Frankenstein is asking Igor to help, and Igor is like, "You're a nice guy, Doc, but
he pays me."
Yeah, he pays me. You're on your own.
You're real nice.
Yeah.
But he's the one that's slipping me some cash. So thanks anyways.
As an angry mob storms the castle, the monster flees to a windmill with Frankenstein's body. The mob burns down the windmill, seemingly killing the monster. Here is the plot problem, or the first one for me. Frankenstein, or the monster, was just brought to life. Yet he picks up Dr. Frankenstein in anguish and calls him father. Like, you've known this guy for 10 minutes, dude.
Yeah, but that's the whole point.
I've known my biological father longer, although not much longer. I've known my stepfather all my life. I wouldn't do any of this for them.
You wouldn't do anything for anyone. Let's be real.
Oh, that's true.
You're not carrying nobody nowhere.
But give me a 3-minute montage of Dr. Frankenstein spending some time with the monster, teaching it to walk, talk, taking a picnic, teaching him how to ride a bike, catching him smoking, something. Then give me the mob and him screaming father. I thought it was very quick and didn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyway.
There's not a lot in this movie that makes a whole lot of sense.
That's true.
I think it's really just setting the precedent for the entire movie, where they're like, look, guys, so something that should happen over the course of 15 minutes in this film is going to happen in approximately 30 seconds. And then we're just keep on trucking because we got a lot of story to tell.
think it was a reminder to the audience that this was his father. He created him. A year later, monster hunter Gabriel Van Helsing travels to Notre Dame de Paris. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Dr. Jekyll after a brawl with Mr. Hyde. I like Mr. Hyde.
I liked him too.
I felt you wasted a huge character. Like you're trying to start a franchise and you kill off a huge literary villain like fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
It's it made me sad that was all we got for him.
Yeah, because he was
Like
such a douche.
it was literally a little bit of back and forth banter, some beating, and then he falls. And
Yeah.
you're just like, and that's it? You paid that much money for that much special effects for that?
Yeah. You could have done a movie on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in Van Helsing.
Well, have you ever seen the movie The Extraordinary Gentleman?
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
that's
was
it.
thinking of when I
Yeah.
watched this. Yeah.
It was very similar,
Because
Dr.
at the
Jekyll's.
beginning, because I was confused.
Or
I'm
Mr.
like, I
Hyde's,
thought,
I should say.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, was this made in the same year? Would they just use like copy and paste?
yeah.
But it was very similar to that. And I was like, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I think I prefer for their Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde moments. Because this, I was like, but it establishes in a very, very short scene that Van Helsing goes around killing monsters.
Yes. Yeah. And he has to watch them become human again. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And he
Okay.
has the feels.
Yeah. I just thought like you could have just done a movie on him hunting down Mr. Hyde while the other half is Kate Beckinsale and her lesser important brother.
Hey, don't talk about Will Kemp like that.
Hey, he ain't wearing a corset.
No, he's not, but he's
And tighter than tight leggings, is he?
he's a very good dancer.
He's
At
a
least
second tier character at best. A dancer.
Yeah. Dude, he was in was it the second Step Up movie?
Oh.
Or the third? No, you're muted, my friend.
I know.
Okay, there we go.
I don't think I've seen the second Step Up. I might have.
Oh God, it was Step Up to the Streets, I think.
Oh.
And my God, it was one of the shittiest but best movies ever made. Ever.
But even if they just
Anyways.
instead of killing off, like why not capture him so you can use him again? Anyways,
There's a lot that's an issue with this
Yeah.
movie.
this is why I should go to California and become a movie executive. Save these idiots a headache and some money.
Eh.
Van Helsing pursues evil on behalf of the Knights of the Holy Order, which has protected mankind since time immemorial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Van Helsing, who remembers nothing before he was found crawling up the steps of a church nearly dead, hopes to earn a pardon for his forgotten sins and regain his memory. Well, you don't even know if you fucking had any sins. You don't remember nothing. But they do this pretty quick and efficiently with Van Helsing and the Cardinal giving this whole backstory. That was fine.
I made a note about that where I was like, they really are very into this whole exposition through dialogue. Like they will explain everything you need to know in a very, very quick, like 1 minute. I think that was just the whole point of this movie. We're going to give you 1 minute hits of stuff and it will explain the entire story, but we're
And
not
let's
actually going to show you
bombard
all of
with
it.
action. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wait, stop. Here's some plot point. Someone's talking. At the Order's Vatican City headquarters, Van Helsing is tasked with traveling to Transylvania, destroying Dracula, and protecting Anna and Vulcan Valerius, the last of an ancient Romanian family. Their ancestor vowed that his descendants would kill Dracula or spend eternity in purgatory. And then we're given like a James Bond and Q thing going all over the new gadgets, but in Victorian times with Van Helsing and Carl. Is anyone else bugged that this friar is called Friar Carl?
No.
Was
Carl
even
is
a name back then?
yes, it's a very traditional German name.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you might as well
Sorry.
call him Fred or Bert.
He would have been a Friedrich or a Bertram if he was British.
Just Carl. It's like
What
some
are
guy you meet at the pub. Hey, Carl, how's it going?
Hey, regular Well, actually, chances are he would have been upper class at this time if he was joining the religious orders. They
Yeah.
didn't really take the lower class ones.
And for being a monster hunter, Van Helsing has absolutely no knowledge of vampires. I thought maybe at first because he was they were indigenous to Transylvania, but we find out later that they're all over Europe.
Yeah, no,
They get together, have parties.
He has a lot of no clues. He just like runs around shooting people, hoping for the best.
Just point me in the direction to shoot someone.
Yeah, pretty much.
In Transylvania, Anna and Velkin attempt to kill a werewolf controlled by Dracula, but it falls with Velkin into a deep river gorge, managing to bite him in the process as Velkin shoots it with a silver bullet. The werewolf effects were a little cartoonish, but again, 2004, totally forgivable, and it was serviceable. Like, it was okay. It wasn't like
it was not a realistic.
No.
Like,
No.
you're not sitting there going, that looks like real fur.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like American Werewolf in London where you're going, oh, god damn.
But I mean, this is 2004.
Yeah,
this is where they were at.
20 years later.
It is very cartoony.
Yeah.
And I think that lends to the kind of ridiculousness of this movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But more importantly, this is where we are introduced to Anna Valerius, her corset and her smoking ass. I'd be lying if I said I didn't rewind to watch her intro again.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what's his name's allowed to be a good dancer, a sexy dancer, and I can't rewind to watch Kate Beckinsale.
Yes, because dancing is a skill. Having an ass is not.
I beg to differ. She does Pilates.
And I'm sure she does it very well.
Yeah.
However, you don't need to rewind to check out her ass. She wears those tight pants through the entire movie.
I was pleasantly surprised by that. Yeah. I just rewound just in case they didn't, show it again. Van Helsing and Carl, a friar and weapons inventor, arrive at a village and join Anna's fight with the Dracula's brides, Verona, Mariska, and Alira, slaying Mariska in the process. So Van Helsing gets into town with Carl. Carl checks into the Econo Lodge because that's what Carl would do. The locals are not very welcome and seem to be ready to kill Van Helsing and Carl just for being there. Then sexy Kate Beckinsale says something in a half-ass accent. I don't care.
It's a terrible accent.
Yeah, when you look that good, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She could have used sign language for all I care.
Because you got to remember, like, they're supposed to be in Romania.
Romania. Yeah, Romanian accent.
None of this sounds Romanian.
No. Actually, she was the only one that even tried to have a Romanian accent.
Wait, her brother
failed.
For the 3 lines that he had. He tried to have a Romanian accent.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just British.
Yeah, they're all British. Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's why when you watch those Roman movies, British.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact. Sebastian Stan is Romanian and he actually speaks Romanian. So, and it's one of the 5 Romance languages. The things I know. Anyway, I don't know why. I was like, I feel like we need to like give respect to a Romanian because we're mocking all of the pretend Romanian accents in this movie.
We're not mocking Romania itself, just the people trying to pretend to be Romanian.
The people trying to pretend. And we're like, no, like, let's not. Kate Beckinsale and Will Kemp in this movie are not accurate representations of the Romanians.
Yeah. And she's like, we don't need your help, Van Helsing. And he's like, I think you do. And unleashes hundreds of mini arrows at a not so sexy Dracula's bride. FYI, Van Helsing can't shoot for shit. Like he missed nonstop.
I was like, sir, stop pulling the trigger. You're not hitting anything.
Nothing. You get nothing.
Shooting into air. That's it.
But I did like the scene, the vampires attacking everyone, Van Helsing being practically useless for the most part, cows being tossed into the building, Carl doing Carl-like stuff. I was good. But the sexy brides, because when they were monster form, not so sexy, human form, super sexy. One of them catches Anna. They don't kill her. They talk to her like forever. They were sent there to kill her.
But they're having long and involved conversations.
Yeah, because the second sexy bride shows up and I want to bite her. And then she's like, I'm biting her first. And I'm like, yeah, you
they're
go,
playing
girl.
With their food. They're
some
playing
girl
with
on
their
girl
food.
biting.
They're playing with their food.
Yeah, they're playing with their food.
Yeah.
And then the two argue. Van Helsing finally pulls his head out of his ass and kills one of the brides.
Mm.
It only took like what 1,856 arrows
Pretty much
to do it.
And Carl had to tell him how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Carl.
Meanwhile, farmers miles away are being bombarded and injured from hundreds and hundreds of fucking mini stakes falling out of the sky.
All of their
dropping like
livestock
flies.
done.
Yeah, done. They're like,
Don't worry,
what the
there'll be
fuck
a
is
sale
that?
on goats at the market.
Yeah, all because trigger happy Van Helsing couldn't shoot a barn door at 10 pieces. So Anna and Van Helsing argue about what they should do next. I voted for a bubble bath while wearing the corset. Carl goes to do some research. Anna's getting all hysterical, so Van Helsing has to slap her. No, that would have been funny. And if this was filmed in the 70s, that's probably what would have happened. But she's like, I'm going on my own. Van Helsing is, we need a plan. Finally, he vapes her with some sort of Victorian age roofie smoke.
So the thing that would happen at the Hollywood party at the 70s, that's what happened.
Yeah.
She got drugged.
Yeah, the Bill Cosby vaping gun. Yeah. She wakes up later and she's like, why do I feel like I was groped? Carl is sitting in the corner trying to look innocent. He's do the research. No, and okay, so she wakes up. She's alone. Sorry, Wikipedia has none of this. She's alone. She goes looking for Van Helsing. Most likely kick him in the nuts for knocking her out. And now we are back to Wikipedia. That night, Velkin visits Anna to warn her of Dracula's plans, but transforms into a werewolf and escapes. Actually, he tries to kill her.
Yes.
Then the clouds cover, the full moon, and he reverts back to Velkin. I hate that rule. I would never use it in a book. If it's cloudy with a full moon, it's like constantly clouds going over the moon.
Still the fucking full moon.
Yeah.
When I realized that was why he kept changing back and forth, because they would be like, look at the moon. Oh, look, there's a cloud. Oh, no, he's back to human. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
They do that a lot of.
Is the full moon. The clouds don't affect the moon's influence on the earth.
No.
Pissed about it.
Yeah. Partial covered, not covered, covered. The fucking werewolf would look like he's having a seizure.
Totally.
They'd be like, give him a wallet to bite down on it.
But I guess they needed that in order to have the werewolf still have conversation.
Yeah.
I think someone must have been like, how is Velkin supposed to tell his sister about Dracula's plan if he's a werewolf? Clouds.
Yeah. Clouds. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Someone give him a wallet to bite down. He'll bite me hand off. Well, you don't give it to him when he's a werewolf, you fucking muppet. You put it in his mouth when he's a human. Fucking Carl. No, Van Helsing and Anna pursue Velkin to Frankenstein's castle. They stumble upon Dracula's plan to duplicate Frankenstein's experiments to give life to thousands of his undead children using Velkin as a conduit. I like this thing, the scene. Everything is overacted when it comes,
100%.
especially the vampire, the brides. Oh my god.
Especially Dracula.
Yeah. But
I keep expecting him to burst into song.
Yeah.
Like it feels very musical theater, and then he doesn't sing, and I'm like, oh, is it not that part yet? But it's coming, right?
It felt like it. And I'll be honest, I remember this scene, but I thought it was at the end of the movie. And we'll get to that. I like the little monsters.
Yeah.
The little monsters in suits helping Dracula move shit around, flying around on zip lines. And
my first thought was they have their own version of Ewoks.
Yeah, or those sand people, those little ones, that trade all the stuff. Yeah. During the fray, Dracula confronts Van Helsing, whom he regards as an ancient rival. Dracula's spawn come to life before dying due to lacking Frankenstein's original formula. And the brides, the two that are left, take them to town to feed on people while Van Helsing is catching up with Dracula. Anna's trying to free her brother. Van Helsing and Anna escape and stumble upon Frankenstein's monster at the windmill, who reveals that he is the key to Frankenstein's machine to give life to Dracula's brood. Eavesdropping on their discussion, Velkin, as a werewolf, escapes with the new information. The Frankenstein monster bugged me. Not the actor or the fact that he's supposed to be 9 feet tall and He's not. He's 6 foot something at best. But all that money and effects, and no one could send this guy for like stilt lessons. You know those drywall stilts that just give you an extra 2 feet of height?
No, they couldn't.
What I did, yeah, no, they 160 million.
'Cause
We only
he
have
was
160 million.
He was like 90% CGI.
Yeah.
So it was probably him standing there like, "We'll make you taller with CGI." Then they were like, Guys, I think we fucked up."
Yeah. But the whole my father part was far-fetched. The knowledge of a man or a monster that is only a year old is astounding. Like,
Yeah, but
he knows a lot. How the fuck does he know all this shit?
He's been around for a year.
A year hiding in the windmill.
Yes, but I'm sure Dr. Frankenstein chose the best brain for him. And he wasn't hiding in the windmill for the entire year.
Like,
Sure,
this
he
is
was, like,
where another
doing stuff.
80s montage would have benefited this movie. Have Frankenstein stealing books, but he gets mad because he can't read. Then he dresses up as a kid and slips into school to learn to read. Him getting the gold star. On the playground playing dodgeball. He's the champion, just gunning
No.
kids down.
You know what they could have done that would have explained all of this? Frankenstein's monster literally just crawling out of the rubble of the windmill the day after, because then you know he escaped.
Yeah. Or
And then
coming
when he
across
shows up
Frankenstein's
again, you're like,
books.
he's doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. I would
I
have
know,
went with
this
the
is
80s montage with like some memorable one-hit wonder music.
This movie could not be any longer. Okay? It
Yeah.
could not.
No. In Anna's castle, Carl discovers a hidden painting of 2 rival knights. It comes to life, revealing the knights as a vampire and a werewolf in battle. While attempting to bring the monster to Rome, Van Helsing and his crew are ambushed by the brides and Vulcan near Budapest. I did like this action scene on the horses and the whatchamacallit? Beautiful shots.
And the
Beautiful cinematography, panning back.
Yeah.
They're on the road flanked
No,
by,
it was a
I don't
great
know how much was CGI and what was real, but the
A
mountains
good
and the
chunk of it
forests-
was CGI.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now. Like, I saw some stuff where I was like, "Ooh, that's kinda obvious."
So
And
maybe
some of it was
giving
done
it
very well.
cinematography is maybe not the best word to use for it, but it looked good.
Yeah, no, it did. It looked good. It was a fun little sequence.
Yeah. Verona and Vulcan are killed, but Van Helsing is bitten. Alira kidnaps Anna and offers to trade her for the monster at the masquerade ball. Van Helsing locks the monster in a crypt, but the undead retrieve him for Dracula. I guess that's the little people or other vampires.
Other
Because they look like
vampires.
real hands, yeah.
Yeah.
Van Helsing and Carl rescue Anna and escape from the masquerade guests, revealed to be vampires. This is where we get to see Carl's sun bomb that he just happened to be working on just as they were going to fight Dracula and the vampires. And he
Carl's
was like,
the only one who knows how to fight vampires, so he's the only one that knows about sunlight.
but he even said, like, I don't even know what this does, but it does something. Like, I know as an audience member, I'm an idiot, but I'm not that much of an idiot. It's not like I sat there going, well, it's a good thing you brought the sun bomb. Talk about convenient. Then Frankenstein is taken away on a sailboat, a wooden sailboat that I'm pretty sure Frankenstein could just rip the shit out of.
Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein was the doctor.
Yes, that's right. He's the doctor. He's the monster.
Yeah, he gets taken away on a sail. I don't even know if it was sailing or they were paddling. And then the cage comes down, and then they Van Helsing screams out, "He's gonna catch him! He's gonna get him! He's gonna save him!" And that's when Carl breaks it to him. "No, man, you kind of got to kill him."
Yeah. I hate to burst your bubble.
Yeah, and Van Helsing's like, "But he's not evil. But he's not human."
Now, at Anna's castle again, Carl explains that Dracula is the son of Valerius the Elder. When he was killed in 1462 by the left hand of God, Dracula made a pact with the devil and lived again. Valerius was told to kill Dracula and gain salvation for his entire family, but unable to kill his son, he imprisoned him in an icy fortress. A fragment the cardinal gave Van Helsing opens a path to Dracula's castle. Another fucking lucky coincidence. The cardinal gave it to Van Helsing. He was like, I don't know what this shit is for, but you might need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been, I was sitting there, I was like, it would have been better if Van Helsing was like fuck, I forgot it. And then you have that whole scene of them going back. Yeah. They find the monster who reveals that Dracula possesses a cure for lycanthropy. Lycanthropy?
Yep, lycanthropy.
That's werewolf. Because only a werewolf can kill him. How does he know? Like, was a 9-foot, 500-pound monster lurking in the shadows spying on Dracula?
It was no. It was probably they figured it out from the castle wall. The fighting thing. One was a vampire, one was a werewolf.
Yeah, they figured that out.
I figured. So they would know because when what's his name made the deal with the devil doesn't make deals just by being like, cool. They're rules.
But Frankenstein's monster was like, hey, Van Helsing, save yourself. He really does have a cure. And Van Helsing's like, what? Oh my God.
Well, he's been lurking around Frankenstein's castle where
he's
Dracula was
9
working.
feet tall and 500 pounds.
And yet they didn't find him for an entire year. Look,
and you can't get to that castle without going through the whatchamacallit.
We can draw. No. He can't get to Dracula's castle, but they were in Frankenstein's castle.
No. When he was being brought in that chunk of ice and telling Van Helsing, they were in Dracula's castle by this time.
But they were doing with Velkin and also Velkin's father when he got toasty and was burnt to a crisp. That was in Frankenstein's castle.
Yes.
Because they went back to Frankenstein's castle and they're like, oh, they took everything. So I'm saying that's when Frankenstein's monster would have overheard shit or read it in a book. You know,
and we also see,
we never got to see.
Yeah. And we also see that there are so many more pods with vampires in them at this castle.
Yeah.
Van Helsing, fighting the curse, sends Anna and Carl to retrieve the cure, killing Igor and Alira in the process. Wow, Wikipedia just skipped over a bit. Yes, Anna and Carl go looking for the cure with Igor. The best lines are from Igor. If there was a director's cut and had more Igor, I'd watch that. Van Helsing, he's turning into a werewolf, goes to rescue old Frankie boy there. Sexy Anna and her corset get to go get the cure because useless Carl lets Igor get the drop on them. And then who is it? Alira attacks Anna.
Yeah,
I thought for sure when they were fighting they're gonna kiss. Maybe a little light tickling.
You want this movie to be a very different movie than it actually was.
Starts with a compliment on Anna's corset and just goes from there. But she gives the antidote to Carl and tells him to go. How did Carl get out? Like, I know they went in to look at it. Igor backed out, locked them in.
Yeah.
How did Carl get out? I think it was
the monster.
No, because he's hanging off the bridge when the monster goes swinging in to help Anna.
Yeah, but that's because when the monster goes swinging in to help Anna. Why can't I remember this?
I know. I did love Igor chasing Carl with the cattle prod.
That was kind of funny, yeah.
No, that was funny.
Felt bad
okay,
for
so
him.
we're not sure how Carl got out.
But he got out.
Yeah, he got out. And then he's going to get the thing to Van Helsing, and Igor's chasing him. It was like when he was electrocuting that werewolf, and Dracula was like, why do you torture the beast like that? And Igor's like, I don't know. It's what I do.
I don't know. It's what I do.
So Frankenstein is being electrocuted. Van Helsing is fighting Dracula. Frankenstein's monster gets loose, but how does he end up with Anna and the bride, who, for those listening, are not kissing or tickling each other?
Who, Frankenstein's monster?
Oh, he falls, swings in. Yeah.
He falls through the window, breaks them apart during their fighting.
And tells her to go.
And then he tells her to go to help.
First, he swings down and Carl ducks.
Yes.
And Igor gets clotheslined.
He gets clotheslined and knocked off the bridge.
Right. And then
into
Frankenstein's
water.
monster is like, help me. And then Carl's like, you're supposed to die. And he's like, I want to live. So he helps him. Then, yes, he swings into that part of the castle and
breaks them apart, fights the vampire.
Right.
We got this.
So Frankenstein is like, go. Anna swings down the bridge that is now broken, and she swings like Indiana Jones. Carl throws the antidote into the air. She catches it. back to Wikipedia, and it looks like I got ahead of myself. Van Helsing attempts to free the monster, but is struck by lightning, bringing Dracula's children to life. Dracula and Van Helsing turn to their bestial forms and battle. Whilst both briefly return to their human forms, Dracula reveals that it was Van Helsing who killed him. Spoiler alert. And offers to restore his memory. Van Helsing refuses to kill Dracula after reverting back to his werewolf form, triggering his brood's death. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So he kills what's his name?
Yes, Van Helsing refuses the offer, kills Dracula.
Yes.
Once he's the werewolf.
And then everybody descended to him dies.
Anna arrives and injects the cure into Van Helsing, but is killed by him in the process. I'll be honest. I totally forgot she died.
I remember she died.
Her.
I remember she died because I remember there was something super cheesy at the end. I'm like, isn't
oh,
there like a...
yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah. So I was like, I remember the super cheesy part, but I didn't remember how she died. But I always figured she died because
I totally forgot.
She was related to Dracula. So she was just part of the curse, not necessarily like through the interaction with Van Helsing. I refuse to think it.
I was looking at, I'm like, this is a fake out. You're not going to kill the actress with the corset. They did. Yeah, they killed the sexiest corset wearer character in the whole movie. Van Helsing and Carl burn Anna's body on a cliff overlooking the sea.
Yes.
And you are correct. The faces in the clouds was so insert politically incorrect word here. Any will do. It was so goddamn fucking cheesy.
It was terrible.
Oh my God.
So terrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
I was like, God, you guys. I remembered that it happened, but still, like, even when it popped up, I was like, oh God. Why would you do that? Why? Who thought this was a good idea?
And all those effects, you use an 80s fading effect to...
It was a glamour shots.
That's what I was looking for, a glamour shot. Yeah.
It was glamour shots. I was like, soft focus.
Frankenstein monster departs on a raft. Where was this dope going?
Nobody knows.
Heading out to sea. Like, for someone so smart for no particular reason. This was dumb. He didn't even have a sail on that thing. Just a paddle.
That's all he needs.
Like, dude, that's the sea. How far do you think you're gonna get?
That's all he needs.
Yeah, and Van Helsing sees Anna's spirit reuniting with her family in heaven. Cringe. And then Van Helsing and Carl ride off into the sunset, and that is our movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
What is your score?
My score is stream it. Because there is no amount of money low enough to pay for this. So, I mean, if you have the ability to watch it, I thoroughly encourage it. Because I will admit, like, the CGI for the time, very, very good. And this movie is so CGI heavy. If for nothing else, then if you're interested in FX, watch it to see the evolution. Because you will see how realistic it is now, how advanced it is now, and just how good it is now. And you can definitely see that. I laughed in this movie, and you're not supposed to, but I laughed a lot. Yeah. I laughed at all the exaggerated moments, the laugh, like the campy moments, the melodramatic, like, and especially, God bless. Where is my Count Dracula? Oh God, who played him again?
Oh, Roxburgh.
Yes, Roxburgh. Richard Roxburgh.
Yeah.
He was so dandy gentleman.
Yeah.
As Dracula. I barked out laughter several times at him. And you're not supposed to.
No.
But I was down for it because I was like, this is entertaining to me. It's a fun movie. It's ridiculous. It'll cause you to roll your eyes. But it was an entertaining 2 hours. Like, I wasn't even like, you end up watching it because you're like, what the fuck are you guys going to do next?
Yeah.
Why? and you're into it. But I mean, don't pay for it. Don't pay anything for it. But
No.
definitely stream it if you're looking for something you and your friends can mock on a Friday night.
All right, stream it. Stream it with approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my score. Okay, this movie was hold on. Had to clear my throat.
You're about to start your diatribe. Let's go.
Yeah. This movie was a mess. It was easy to follow because it was written by a kid in grade 5. Like, and then Frankenstein's like, "Father." Then the werewolf has control of his emotions until midnight, but not that one. Only Van Helsing. Then like all the vampire babies are eating everyone, and then like they explode like blood and guts, but it's like green, and their mommies are like, "No." It just tried to cram way too much into one movie, and it's not a smart movie. If they pulled back the range just a bit, made it a little more grittier, a little more suspenseful, they probably would have had a franchise. But what do I know? I do know they would have saved a lot of money. But overall, it was just all over the place. The acting was great for camp. Like you said, Dracula, you're like looking at a daytime TV soap opera level of
Yo, soap actors are more serious than this. They're
like, yeah.
better than this.
The story and pacing was stupid. The character development was, other than Van Helsing, was stupid. The action and set pieces were spectacular. The digital effects, for the most part, and the time were good. Some were overly cartoony in parts, but it kind of fit with the movie in a campy midnight monster movie way. The practical effects that they did use were great. Stupid story, no character development, has this big extravaganza of a movie with a lot of empty calories. But that's not to say that you won't find some nostalgia fun. I too say stream it. It's worth, even just to laugh at it, mock it, enjoy the silliness of it. I would not rent it. I would not buy it. But if you have a streaming service that has it, which I did, I would
too.
stream it. Would I watch it again? Not anytime soon, maybe down the road, but not anytime soon. But I didn't mind watching it. I wasn't mad or anything like that. But yeah, I'd say stream it for what it is, but just go in knowing what it is.
Yeah, it is a very campy, over the top, very surface level story. Like, don't think you're gonna get anything really deep or feeling or complex.
Yeah.
But it is a fun movie that is very over the top and a little bit ridiculous. A lot of ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of
Who am I
ridiculous.
kidding with the little bit? It is a lot ridiculous. But is it fun to watch? Yeah, actually it is.
Yeah.
If you suspend your disbelief, it's a fun little watch.
Yeah.
Is it a good watch? Not particularly, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And as long as you understand that going in, you're good. It feels very much like a 1940s monster movie. A little bit campy, a little over the top, very simple story. And that's what it's just they crammed too much into this movie. And
Yeah.
I think it could have been very different. But if anybody's looking for a good telling of Van Helsing, the series, I thoroughly enjoy it. There is a little bit of camp, but
Van
not a
Helsing, the
lot.
series. Which one
Van
is that?
Helsing, the series. You don't know? Basically, the apocalypse happens and
Is this
vampires
where
rise
the
up.
Van Helsing is a girl?
Yes.
Yeah, and the vampires. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
bad. I think I've seen
Yeah.
season 1.
The vampires come up, and they try to take over the world,
Yeah.
and Van Helsing wakes up from a coma, and she's all like, "The fuck?" And then action ensues? Sure, we'll say that. Action ensues.
Yeah, no, this was like, if you remember liking it, like, you're not gonna like it more than what you remembered,
Oh,
or
no.
you're not even gonna like it just as much. But yeah, and you're gonna laugh. There are some one-liners, especially from Igor, that will make you chuckle. You are gonna laugh at some other things that you probably weren't supposed to laugh at. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a stream it.
And I mean, you
Like
do get a small glimpse of Hugh Jackman's ass.
Do you?
Yeah, you do. At the very end, when she dies, he's wearing the pants.
Oh,
It's kinda
right,
torn.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
see a little tush, a little bit of tush.
Disgusting. Didn't see any Kate Beckinsale's ass.
No, but she had her tits up to her chin in a corset the entire time.
Yeah, she
Calm
did.
down. Give me Will Kemp in his little like torn pants and Hugh Jackman in his little torn pants, because that's all we got, other than Frankenstein's monster running around half naked through the entire thing.
Yeah,
and also Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde. Yeah,
So he was, but that was not a good look because
no,
digital ass crack not attractive. FYI.
no. All right, so we got 2 enthusiastic extremists. Don't pay for this movie.
Do not pay for it.
But you'll have fun making fun of it. Yeah.
Invite some friends over.
Yeah.
And just run with the ridiculousness that was.
I watched it with my kids and they had a good time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right. All right. Well, thank you for joining us while we watched Van Helsing and reviewed it. And until the next movie we remember liking. Bye.
Bye.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.